Hey y'all, there is ongoing cryptid activity, at least that's what we think it is, on my property. Um, I told y'all about, you know, um, some activity earlier when me and my wife was doing a few things outside there. Um, but anyway, whatever is going on, I don't know. I don't really think it's in lieu to that because it started happening in the past 2 or 3 days. Um, Last night and the night before last, she had called me while I was at work, telling me that something's messing around outside, banging on her camper, her RV rather, scratching the screen, although it didn't tear it. Um, and last night, it was one bang, and it started rocking the RV enough that it startled her. She called me and had me on speakerphone, and we prayed, and it stopped. Plus, it heard my voice. I don't know what it was thinking. He's gone yet. He's inside there. I don't know exactly. I asked the Lord to send warring angels to run that thing out of the yard for good. But anyway, there's something going on. We think it's a juvenile Bigfoot, but we're not sure. Um, but also, sometime in the past, um, she was having cryptid activity, before that. And Dennis Carroll, a friend of mine, he's a demonologist. He has the YouTube channel Hunting the Shadows. He sent me something to read out loud, and pretty much the cryptid activity stopped. And then, that happened when we was outside that I told y'all about. And now this is happening. And so it's starting back up. But, you know, during her first encounters, she seen something halfway in the middle of the windshield before she put her sheet up to kind of fix it where you couldn't see inside the RV from the windshield. She seen something leaning over, and it looked like a limb with leaves on it, but it she's looking at it, and then it snapped back, and I don't know if something's messing with her, and it made a branch or something come down. I don't know what it was, but something was messing with her. But I've looked up some stuff on Google and YouTube, and there seems to be all kind of strange creatures now, and I don't know what's up with them. But I know the main ones are Bigfoot, which Bigfoot's boring now to most people, and then there's the dog man. He's the thing now. But even the rake, which is supposed to be a fake thing that started on Reddit, even the name. But for what I understand and what I heard, the creature has existed before that. And it's more like, what people used to call a goon, I guess. I've seen something white while I was at the number 3 mines out there, and the rake is supposed to have been gotten on a trail cam out there. But I seen something behind the Jeep, my company Jeep. Um, you know, the back window was tinted where you really couldn't see out it at night. You can see a car get behind you if you're going down the road. You see headlights and stuff like that, but otherwise, no, you couldn't see at it. But my side view mirrors, I could see something white peek from behind my Jeep. I mean, it even looked like it was grinning at me. Um, the glimpse is just a glimpse. I see it peeking out at me, and when it knew I saw it, like it sensed I saw it, it would duck back behind the Jeep. Um, it's just a quick glimpse. It happened, seemed like more than once, and definitely if I had to use the bathroom or something, I would, um, I wouldn't just step out of Jeep and do it there. I'd go on down a mile to the main road right there, Mud Creek Road, um, and I would, do my business there. You know, I mean, um, that's one thing I tried to do. And if I did my business at the top of the hill, I would definitely move or circle around and stuff, and make sure nothing jumps out from behind me, and stuff. Because, I may not be able to get back in quick enough and lock the door, which these things respect boundaries. Sometimes they actually come into a house. Sometimes they'll rip a wall out. Sometimes they'll come into a vehicle or break a window out. But for the most part, they respect boundaries. I don't know why. I guess God makes them. But, it's like, they really want to lure you out somewhere and attack you where they lured you instead of attack you where you are. It's kind of strange how they are, how they do and stuff, I mean, but, just be careful out there, there's no telling what has been conjured up. And things have been conjured up. A cop actually seen a dog man conjured up, or a hellhound, and I mean the government might be experimenting and making stuff. I mean, there ain't no telling what's going on, but just be careful out there, and um, if you choose to go camping at all, bear spray works on dog man. I mean, but it's temporary. Might work on Bigfoot. Stun gun, regular gun. My friend James Tucker of All the Nightmares, for YouTube's sake, he calls guns a lead injector, which that's a good definition. I mean, they will inject some lead into you there. But anyway, I mean, I'm not as careful as I should be, and that might be keeping my videos from getting up in the algorithm and stuff, But I'm just me, and I mean, if people can't handle, stuff like, me saying guns, and when I say kill, or, still unalive, or whatever, I mean, all these words, you got to be careful, because, actually, children are more brats now than they used to be, I reckon, and, but they got these virgin ears that you can't just, you have to be careful what you say, I mean, there's so many snowflakes out there, that live in their parents' garage and eat Hot Pockets and stuff, you got to be careful not to offend them, I mean, I hope I didn't offend anybody, but, technically, I mean, sometimes I care, sometimes I don't, I mean, people just got to get over it, I mean, it ain't like I'm just using foul language or I'm highly graphic or stuff like that. I mean, my goodness, I want to be that way. I could put the song out called, upload the song called Smuggler's Blues. I doubt seriously if radios will actually play that song nowadays, because it's kind of, a little bit, what's the word for it? Graphic. But, people nowadays, they're more violent, but yet they just can't handle hearing stuff. And I hope none of y'all are like that, you know. I mean, I hope my audience is more down to earth, you know. I think they are, you know, especially to put up with me. But okay, I want to get on out of here. Um, you know, I may say stuff offensive and stuff like that, but I'm not out to do anything ungodly. You know, if I haven't said it before, I'm a Christian, and I have shared some rock music or country rock and some southern rock and stuff like that with y'all, and I took it down. You know, I mean, I feel like YouTube just um, well, they said something about, you know, it might interfere if I ever get my channel monetized and stuff like that, because other channels are using that to be monetized with. And so I took it down, but I was just trying to share some stuff with y'all, which I've said this several times. But for the most part, I'm not out to dishonor the Lord. And I try to be honest with y'all and everything, but you know, just because I might say some trigger words every now and then, you know, um, don't mean I'm trying to put out bad content or anything, you know. But some people will get offended if you look at them sideways, and you know, ain't much you can do about that. I mean, it's hard to tell what will offend people until you offend them, you know, and then they're offended, they get mad and everything, and they rage, and you know, they might do and say worse than originally what I did to offend them. They may get offensive, and them, and they might get offensive in being offended. You know what I'm saying? People are crazy nowadays. Y'all watch out. There's more monsters out there in the human body than there are out there in the woods, to be honest with you. But anyway, I'm going to get on out of here. Y'all have a good one. Bye.